Good morning, it's Rich. Yes, better hair day. I was listening to a video today with Candace Owens, and she was speaking about how before the 2016 election, she was a liberal. She was a liberal because of the color of her skin. And she shared her observations about how she believed Donald Trump wouldn't be a good president because of his TV show and the "you're fired" way he dealt with things. And she made observations about how the media all thought he was great up until he decided to run for president. And then things changed. She's talking about celebrities who were talking about going to Mar-a-Lago and stuff like that. And Mar-a-Lago or Trump was a sign of making it, or making it in America. And so this video is my thoughts stirred up in my heart from God about my views of making it. You see, I've never seriously desired lots of wealth. I mean, I am flesh, I am human. I mean, I have had those thoughts of, what would it be like to have Bill Gates' money decades ago? Well, you'd have to live his life. You'd have to be him. I mean, in a way, that phrase would be like, God, I'm rejecting the way you made me. I'm rejecting who you made me to be. Well, honestly, throughout most of my life, I've never known what I really wanted to do when I grew up. And there were some possible reasons for that. That one, really, I just didn't understand myself and what was important to me. Two, was quite fearful of, maybe I'm never going to grow up. Man, I'm already past 50. What do I want to do when I grow up? Well, I'm 50. If I haven't grown up yet, am I ever? Or what? Maybe the enemy had broken me so much as a child and throughout my life. Physical and verbal abuse, emotional abuse growing up, rejection, eventually rejecting myself, having girlfriends reject me when I was dating before I was a Christian, friends, and so forth. Finally settling for, there must be something wrong with me. I'm the exception. And then even after becoming a Christian, and you'd read verses that talk about how God, knitted you together in your mother's womb and things like that, about how you're fearfully and wonderfully made and so forth. And the enemy already had lies in my head of self-talk of, yeah, but that doesn't apply to me, or I'm the black sheep. There's goats and sheep, and I might be a sheep now, but I'm a black sheep. I'm a rejected one. Well, Jesus was rejected. And those who rejected him were fools. They thought they were wise. But in the end, they will find out that they're fools. Saul thought he was so great in his flesh. The credentials, the family lineage, the obedience to the law, yet he's out killing Christians. And after an intervention on the road to Damascus, where Jesus came and directly intervened and dealt with him, then he finally saw clearly once the scales fell from his eyes. Once his flesh got out of the way, he could see clearly. Well, here's some thoughts and feelings and ideas that come from my heart about finally, quote, making it as a Christian. See, we were born into and raised in a worldly kingdom. A worldly kingdom that is contaminated by the knowledge of good and evil. And yes, we are capable, without Christ, of doing things that may be good, but at the same time, do things that are evil, based upon our emotions, our feelings, our reactions, past hurts and wounds and scars that cause us to react in ways that have to make our Savior shudder and cringe. It's like, I came and died on the cross, took all the sins of all mankind. And why are you harboring and holding those sins inside of you? Contaminated and polluted when I've already paid the price. I already came to heal the world. All you have to do is receive. Yet for 26 years as a Christian, I still was contaminated, living by my flesh. A hurt person, a wounded person, not knowing how to give God the pollution that I carried around. I carried some things from my childhood, my teenage years, that I sealed up when I made a vow at 20 years old to never date again. All the pain, the emotions, the rejection, the feelings that I didn't want to feel anymore. Well, when I closed all those off, it didn't leave much for me to actually feel other than what was on the outside of my heart, sealing my heart, protecting my heart from getting hurt. But by doing so, I was hurting others and hurting myself and allowing me to be robbed of life, the abundant life that God came to give us, the abundance of joy, happiness, love, grace, mercy, peace, forgiveness, self-control, fruit of the Spirit. If you are struggling with a list of the fruit of the Spirit, if you don't have joy in your life, if the world around you looks dark, well, then you're not as lost as you think you are, if you think you're lost. The world is dark. The world is evil. The world is selfish. And it's going to stay that way. And the darker it is, the easier it is to see light around you. In some cases, the light in you. See, I don't look to Mar-a-Lago as success. I don't look to Trump as success. I don't seek that kind of success. I seek my Creator, my Savior, my Provider, my Redeemer, the one who gives good things, like my wife, my children, my family, my friends. Love for Him, love for my neighbor as myself, love for all mankind, for God's creation. And I hope and pray that we all can get to the point where our flesh gets out of the way between us and God.